Hello, hello, hello. Let's see where we at here. All right. We are live. All right. Well, hello, folks. It's me again, Elle Parker, and I'm bringing you with me into the kitchen for a live demonstration as I prepare one of my living foods recipes. Well, it's actually not my recipe. It's a recipe I'm following from a cookbook that I have by a chef India, and it's for in her cookbook, it's called a creamy dill dressing. But before I get started, let me go ahead and feed my fish. I don't know if you see them. They actually, I don't think they've eaten today. So before I get into preparing food for myself, I'm gonna go ahead and give my fishies, who are very excited when they see me come, they think it's always time to eat. So I'm gonna go ahead and give them something to eat so they will be satisfied and happy. There we go. My little kitchen buddies, they hanging out with me. All right. So I don't have a whole lot of time because I'm actually going to be heading out to work here shortly. But I wanted to make sure I was prepared. So I had to run out and get some ingredients so that I can prepare my own food to bring with me. So that way I have what I need. So this recipe calls for, hopefully it's really quick. It seems quick, so hopefully it goes as quick as I think it should go. It calls for some soaked cashews, which I have been soaking these cashew nuts, cucumber, some lime juice, and some fresh dill, and some seasoning. Where's my other? I need my white pepper. I got the Italian seasoning. Let me find my white pepper, which I had to just run out and get. Here we go. We got the white pepper. So we got our seasonings. And we're going to go ahead and get into this because, like I said, I don't have a whole lot of time, but I want to demonstrate how easy it is to incorporate a living foods diet. So I hope that's what happens here. This is my first time making this recipe, so hopefully everything goes well, okay? So what first thing we're going to do, we're going to start by rinsing these cashews. So I actually had these soaking overnight for this recipe and other recipes as well, but this turned out to be the one that we're making first. So I actually wanted to make some nut milk, but I couldn't find any nut milk bags locally. So this is just a strainer. I'm just rinsing and straining the cashews so that I can use them for my recipe, which calls for, I have it on my phone here, a cup and a half of these cashews. And actually, I'm gonna be using my little blender, so I'm not so happy about that because I wanted to actually use a larger, blender cup for this recipe. But like I always say, you got to use what you got. So this is what we got. Hope we're going to figure out a way to make it work. Ain't no hopefully. It's going to work. So that's a cup. And then what's this? What do we got in here? This is a quarter. I'm going to just do two of these. Boom. And boom. All right, so the rest of these are going to go in the refrigerator for future recipes. Hopefully I can get them all back into this jar. They've been soaked, so I'm not going to leave them in water. Hopefully I'll be making the other recipe in less than 24 hours or 24 hours or less. So I believe these soaked cashews will be just fine in the refrigerator for the next 24 hours while they wait for me to prepare them for the next recipe. So that's it for these. These are done. I'll go ahead and set these in the refrigerator. Ooh, I found some fruit. All right, so we got our cup and a half of soaked cashews. And then we actually want to, I guess we're going to add our seasonings to the cashews, but really the wet part of this recipe is going to be the cucumber. I don't know if you can see on my cutting board here. I've got my fresh dill. We don't add that until the end. What I need to do is roll out these fresh limes because we need a healthy amount. How much lime juice do we need actually? This is a third cup of lime juice. That's like a lot of lime juice. I don't even know if hopefully these 3 little limes make enough. That's why I gotta roll them and make sure I really get that juice content up and available so we can get as much juice as possible. We want to go fresh. I could have probably found a bottle of lime juice. And actually, I did look and I saw a bottle of a really good brand of lemon and lime juice that I like, but it wasn't pure juice. It had added, oh, hey, somebody is on there. Why did they? I don't know what's going on with that. I got a short amount of time, guys, so pardon me if I can't get into the chat. I got to really move and groove with this recipe so I can get out the door in time for work. So I'm going to roll out these limes. But yeah, the bottle of supposed fresh lime juice that they had actually had water added. So I didn't want to do a lime juice with added water. So I went ahead and picked up these limes, even though I know it's going to be a little more work, but that's more ashe for fuel for our food. So that's good. It's got my ashe all in it, all up in and through this thing. So let's see here. Just roll these out, make sure they're nice and soft so I can be assured I'm going to get as much juice as possible. All right, so got my limes are nice and softened here. Hopefully those are going to be very juicy when I cut into them. Hopefully my knife is sharp enough. So we got that. And let's see, where are we going to put it? Let me, I guess, use this. Go ahead and get these limes juice. Where is my, do I even have my citrus juicer? Oh no, where is it? Oh my goodness, where is my, let me see, I think I have it over here. Where are we? This is like one of those things where every time you're trying to do something, it's always going to be something to get in the way. And I had so many little hiccups because I said I was going to film this video. All kinds of stuff was happening, but we're not going to let that stop us because I do have an actual whole entire citrus juicer. Since I can't seem to find my handheld, I'm going to go ahead and use my whole entire machine here to juice these limes. So I guess that's going to be cool. Hopefully that means we'll get as much juice as possible anyway, because I might be too weak to squeeze out the needed amount of juice from these limes. Let's hope my knife is like, could be sharpened. We're going to cut these limes. Ooh, yeah, juice is squirting out all over the place. So hopefully I'm not losing a lot because I need every little drop. All right, guys, plug your ear. I'm gonna try to mute you guys while I work with this. All right, and we are back. We're back. You know, I'm used to one of my children is always very sensitive. I'm used to being around folks who are just sensitive to the loudness of blenders and things like that. So that's why I mute, you know. And I don't know how loud this microphone might be projecting things, but yeah, that's why I muted. All right, so we got our limes juiced. I don't know exactly how much lime juice that's gonna give us, but that's all we got. So we're gonna have to work with what we got. I put my food waste in a paper bag, so because I compost. So I put all my food waste out into my composter. So I like to put it in a paper bag, so that makes it easier for me to just go ahead and drop it into my composter. That's my method. All right, so we're done with this. This can sit over here for a minute. I guess we will just go ahead and that might be a cool little amount. She said, what, a third cup? Let me see. Let me get a third cup and see if that works out. Let's see if we actually got a third cup of lime juice out of those 3 limes. Ooh, okay. We did it. We sure did. I'm going to go ahead and put that into the cashews. We even got a little bit more. Hey, so that's cool. That worked out. Now we need a cucumber. And I'm going to go ahead and use the smaller of the 2 cucumbers. I'm going to take the other one because that's going to be my meal for today. Man, my knife really needs to be sharpened. That's crazy. I got to saw everything. Ugh. So I'm going to go ahead and peel this cucumber. My easy vegetable peeler makes it nice and easy to peel. I thought it was going to be like a fancy peeler. I wanted something to make like fancy peels and shavings for when I make little recipes, but I like this peeler. Found it on Amazon. I'll go ahead and get all the skin off here. All right, so my cucumber is ready. Rinse her off. Put her back over here. And then get rid of these peelings into our composting bag. Just going to go out into the composter. Hopefully we don't have any mishaps. Like the last time I tried to make a recipe real quick, there was a little disaster. So hopefully we don't have any of that today because I don't have time for all of that. All right. So what are we going to do next? We got our cashews. We got our lime juice. We're going to put 1.5 teaspoons of sea salt. Let's get our measuring spoons out. I usually don't like measure, but since this is the first time making this recipe, oops, sorry sorry, slamming cabinet doors and everything. So we got our sea salt, and she said 1.5 teaspoons. This sea salt from Sprouts, I forgot that I never really like buy this one. It gets on my nerves because it gets kind of cakey and it like gets stuck a lot. So it's kind of like a lot of salt, huh? 1.5 teaspoons of salt. Yeah, I'm reading that right. So we're gonna see. I'm gonna go ahead and just use the 1/2 teaspoon. See, and then you have to wind up keep doing this pour and back situation. Ooh, that's a half. Oh, that's so irritating. It doesn't just pour out of this little hole they make. That's one, and then another half more. Just a little over. Ooh, see, it's just making a mess. All right, so that's 1.5 teaspoons of sea salt. And then we need 1/4 teaspoon of white pepper. I wonder if I want to make it like a little spicy and add a little extra white pepper, but not this time. I won't do that this time. I had a bit of a time actually finding this white pepper. I had to go to 2 different stores. They did not have it at Sprouts. But luckily, I have 3 grocery stores right close by each other. So the other store was just right across the street. I'm going to go ahead and put I like spicy. So I'm going to add like a heaping 1/4 teaspoon of white pepper. Got that going in there. Get that out the way. And then we need our Italian seasoning. And we're going to do a tablespoon. This was the last of the Italian seasoning they had at the Sprouts in the bulk section. I don't know if y'all know about the Sprouts bulk section for seasonings, but they actually didn't have any in the bottle. But sometimes if you want to save money and say you're only using a little bit, or it's a recipe you don't make very often and you don't need to keep it, you can use the bulk section and kind of just get what you need. So here's a tablespoon of the Italian seasonings. We're going to drop that in there. All right, so we got our Italian seasoning and a lemon pepper. She wants us to do a 1/2 teaspoon of lemon pepper, which I have here. Ooh, getting the sneezies. My nose is tickling. Let's see if we can get this out of here. I love lemon pepper. I might actually just put like a little extra because I love lemon pepper so much. And yeah, I even have, let me see what I have in here. If I still have these that I haven't used. I have these California lemon peel, and I'm gonna just put a couple pinches of that in there because I do love the tang and twang of lemon. So lemon and dill together, that's a winner for me. I'll just put a little pinch of lemon peel in there. All right, so we got that going on, and that's really it, you guys, besides the actual cucumber. Now, I was kind of distressed a little bit because I was looking for a way to purchase like locally a larger cup for my NutriBullet blender because I broke the other ones. And I needed a replacement, but I couldn't find any locally. So we're going to see what this is able to do with just this size cup that we have. I'm a little nervous that all this cucumber may not fit in there, and I might wind up kind of mixing it. I don't know. We're going to have to improvise. Let me just put this away over here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to blend the cashews first and see what that does. Well, you know what I'm actually going to do? I'm going to cut. I don't know if y'all can see. I'm kind of getting a little wild over here. I'm a little cutting board. I don't know what you can see and what you can't see, but I'm going to cut this into like 1, 2, 4 pieces, right? And then I'm going to take each piece and cut it up again into 4 more pieces, into quarters, maybe 8 pieces, chunks, and drop that in. Just so there's a little bit in there. That's about it. And then we're going to have to blend the rest of the cucumbers separately. See how that almost went to the top? So let's see what happens when we blend this. I'm going to mute you guys again while I blend. Okay, that worked out. Not so bad, not so bad. Now, let's see, we got a little more room. So I'm gonna go ahead and add some more of the cucumber into the container here. And try not to overload it because it will be a mess. I might be able to fit it, but I'm gonna take it easy. I'm gonna be patient and just be patient and go slow, because that's when we make mistakes, when you start trying to rush and going too fast and everything. So here we go again. I'm gonna mute you while I blend. All right, guys, this is where it's getting a little scary. I think I'm gonna go ahead and it's pretty close to the top, but I'm gonna go ahead and add this last chunk of cucumber so we can follow our recipe, which calls for a whole cucumber added to this dressing, as she calls it. I'm calling it a dip because I'm gonna be using my tortilla chips to enjoy this. All right, here we go. Last blend, last blend. Awesome. Okay, so that was quick and easy as I thought it would be. Let's get this out the way. Let's put it way over here. And this is what we got. I'm glad it did actually fit in here. I'm gonna try to just knock it down into the container a bit here. Let's see what happens. Let's see what it's looking like. Ooh. It's looking good, looking spicy, looking like a dressing I may have seen in the store before or purchased before. Nice. I'm happy. Let me just give a little taste. Let me taste. Tangy. It's good. It's good. I wonder if I could have done that with something else. Cashews are like, they're a little heavy, for somebody who's trying to lighten up. Cashews can be like, they got a lot of calories in cashews, but it's not that much. It's not too much. So let me see what we're gonna put this in. Do I have my to-go bowl? I'm gonna move my cutting board because I need to wash it off, but I'm not gonna do that right now. I might not even do that before I leave. All right, so what we got here? We're gonna take this dip, baby, dip. And then we're just gonna use our spatula, get it all into my bowl here that I'm gonna be taking with me. some people say like it's so hard to eat healthy, but once you're committed, you find that it's really not that hard. Whether you're juicing and you got to make your smoothie, or like me, I'm trying to be on a raw food diet. I'm about to go work in a restaurant. There's plenty a vegan restaurant at that. So there's plenty of food at the restaurant, but I'm being committed to my living food diet, and I don't want to succumb, to eating a bunch of stuff that's like not on my diet right now. So you always want to come prepared with your stuff. When you got a special diet, never expect other people to cater to your special diet. You should come prepared with your own stuff. So that's my little tip for folks on a special diet. Even if you're going out to eat, like if it was me, just word to the wise, if I'm on a special diet, I'm not going out expecting even a professional restaurant to have what I need for my special diet. And then what we're going to do is we're going to top it off with this fresh dill. And I love dill so much. Oh my gosh. I'm gonna be honest with you, my daughter actually turned me on to the dill. She got me hooked onto the dill. So we're just gonna I'm gonna try to be not breaking off big chunks, but trying to just take the little dill pieces, piece by piece by piece, and not just throw a whole stem in there. I'm working a little fast, but we're making it happen. It's happening. I feel like I'm gonna be good to go and make it out on time. This recipe is pretty much complete. We're just topping it off right now. Now, she doesn't really say in her recipe how much dill. Well, she said a third cup of fresh dill. I guess I should have been like measuring. Let me at least get a quarter cup. I don't know. I don't think I'm gonna really be able to measure. There's like this meme that's going around the internet said, we just season till the ancestors tell us to stop. And like I've said, recipes are like guidelines, but like I know how much dill I like. I know what I like my dill stuff to look like. So that's the great thing about preparing food yourself. You get to make it to your specifications and what you like. Sometimes I hate when I purchase like a commercial dill dressing, and then it's like I wish there was more dill in the dressing. I don't find it to be, enough fresh dill to give it the strength that I like when I'm having dill. So this way I get to put as much as I like, and I can even bring this dill with me. So if I find that I need more, I can always top it off with more when I get where I'm going, like a little seasoning. I like fresh dill over dried dill. I just love fresh dill. Love it, love it, love it. But they do sell it dried, like a dried seasoning. But and I'm gonna put this in my little compost bag because those will go out into the composter. Let's see what we got here. We got another little stem. I'll go ahead and break that off. I'm super excited about this. Just the little taste that I had, it was so good. One thing you want to be careful about, especially like with this NutriBullet, I have like the 900-watt motor, which is very powerful. It can add heat. So when you're working with fresh ingredients and you don't want to, you're eating raw, certain things you don't want to heat them up because that will compromise the vitamin and nutrition content if they get too hot. It's almost like cooking it. So sometimes I will kind of pulse the blender, but you don't want to just like leave it going like nonstop, because blending can potentially also heat up your whatever's in the blender. And I know I have experience with this NutriBullet. Like if I leave it going for too long, like when I'm making my cheese sauces and things like that, I can feel it heating up. So especially when I'm working, if I'm working with nuts and stuff like that, it's not such a big deal. But when I'm working with like, cucumber is actually a fruit, especially with the fruits and, the light fruits and vegetables and things like that, you kind of want to be careful not to overheat them and compromise the nutritional content or the rawness of your whatever it is you're making, of your dish, whatever it is you're blending. Sometimes it could get so hot, it'd be just like if you put it on the stove in a pot or a pan under some fire for a bit. And we're not cooking. So, all right, that looks good. I'm actually going to mix this up in here. See what that's looking like if I give it a little mix. So I'm going to mix a good portion of it up into the dip. Right? You see that? So I'm mixing that in. That was so good. And then for me, I'm still going to put a nice amount on top. You could even add some fresh mint to this recipe if you wanted to. And that would add a little kick to it. Just a little flavor. A little fresh mint would have been nice. I don't know why I didn't think about that, but I got the extra kick of the lemon peel seasoning, so that adds a little extra kick. Little California lemon peel in my recipe. Let's see what we got here. What do we got? I think we'll use this one. We could probably go and finish her off with this whole little. There's probably an easier way to do this, to get all these little dill leaves off of the stems. But I'm kind of just pinching them off one by one. I mean, not one by one, but you see me. Little pinch, pinch, pinch. Trying to separate kind of as I pinch them off and make sure I don't pull off like a whole little stem like that, and just really pinch off the individual leaves. So that's what I'm doing here. Taking my time, just putting more energy into your food. And that's what it's all about. That's what this raw lifestyle is all about. Just having access to all the natural life force energy in our fruits and vegetables. That's why we're eating raw for the most part. And then also, of course, avoiding commercial chemicals and things like that. But yeah, hand prepared food with love by people you know and love is starting to be a bit of a lost common thing, as so many people are like eating out all the time. And you don't know who's back there cooking your food. You don't know what their spirit is like, what kind of energy they have. What if they're mad to be at work and they're preparing your food with angry energy? That's going into the food that you eat. Then next thing you know, you're not feeling so hot. You're not feeling so happy and full of life because you have you communicated that energy through the food. Consumed a bit of their energy as you consume the food they prepare for you. Now, a good way to kind of circumvent that is, of course, you want to pray over your food yourself, put your own intention over your meals. We used to call that blessing the food, but whatever you want to call it, some people got issues with the whole spirituality thing or whatever. But if you want to just not take the spirituality out of it and just be scientific about it, it's just putting your own intention on the food once you receive it. So, and may your energy be more powerful than the person who prepares your food. So, hopefully, it will supersede any energy they may have put on the food once you start putting your own energy on it. We really love dill. I'm putting a lot of dill. I'm just realizing that, but I really love dill. Let me see. Do we have a little? A little? Let me see. I probably will do just this last because I might give it another little mix when I get where I'm going, just so it's extra dilly, dilly, dilly. What's the dilly, yo? I wish I could grow some of this at home. I'm gonna try. I think I tried once before and failed. It didn't work out. So little stuff like this, little herbs like this, I would love to just have a fresh supply at my home. One day. Right now, I live in the desert and it's just not really working out for me to try to grow. I'm a new person, a new urban farmer. It's not like I have farming experience or anything like that. But all right, well, that's it, y'all. There she is. Our creamy cashew based dill dip. I'm going to take this with me to work tonight. I'm kind of try to wipe off the edge here. So I'll make a mess. Wish I had a paper towel and a napkin, but I don't. And here we go. That's it. That's it. That's all she wrote. We are done. So great. I got that done just in the nick of time. So I actually even have some olives. I might go ahead and chop some olives up and add that once I actually prepare the actual bowl I'm going to be eating. Hopefully I'll be able to share this with some of my coworkers who actually happen to be my family. We have a family business. Check us out online if you're looking for some vegan pizza and mac and cheese and some other good treats in the Las Vegas area. You can find us online at Down to Earth Pizzeria. There's actually a website as well. Yeah, you can find it online, Down to Earth Pizzeria or downtoearth.com. We are on the food delivery apps if you want to order from Uber Eats or DoorDash in the Las Vegas area. That's where you will find us. So I'm about to head over there right now and take these healthy living food treats so we have some good healthy food to eat while we are working tonight. Thank you to all of you who may have joined me. Sorry I couldn't engage with the chat, but like I said, I'm on a short amount of time. I just wanted to get this video done. So thank you for watching. I'll try and follow up and answer any chat inquiries or whatever later. But yeah, thank you. Thank you for watching. Whether you're watching now or whether you watch later, thank you for being here. And I look forward to sharing more living foods recipes with you guys in the future. Wishing you all a great day, afternoon, or evening. Peace and love.